Having a guest on the You Can Be Anything podcast is something that makes me happy. It makes me excited each time I have to talk to someone new. Hello, everyone. Your girl Solange Che here of the You Can Be Anything podcast. And today I'm honored to have another guest on the show. It's been a minute, but this is one that I've been looking forward to. And finally, the day came. And that's why today you'll be hearing us chat. So this is one of those episodes that I go into my professional space. I'm looking for those people who do stuff similar to what I do every day, and I talk to them. And the whole goal here is to understand their motivation, to understand how this journey has been for them, and to be able to bring out some of those just tips that they can throw out there to someone that is maybe already in the field or someone that is looking to get in. So
you got the power, you got the strength. All you need is the will, this is the knowledge you got to learn. Because it is real. You can be anything, you can be anything. You can be anything, oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
Today on the show, I am honored to have Michael Porcenat. Michael is also a Salesforce professional like myself. Thank you so much, Michael, for accepting my invitation. And today we'll be having an amazing chat, Salesforce and other things. Welcome to the You Can Be Anything podcast, Michael.
Thank you so much, Solange, for having me.
Awesome. So yes, as I said again, Michael is a Salesforce professional like myself, and this is me navigating my way into my professional space to talk to people, to understand people, to get a clue of what this ecosystem, the Salesforce ecosystem, as we call the space, is for them. So Michael, please, if you don't mind, can you tell the listeners about yourself? Who would you say Michael is?
So great question. I would say I am first off, being a Salesforce professional, been working in the consulting space for going on 3 years now. I work for a company called Agile Cloud Consulting. This is actually my first consulting position. Prior to this, I worked in sales, was a business development representative at Salesforce.org. Which is, I was also working as a outside salesman for a company called ADP, which is where I got introduced to Salesforce because we were utilizing their Sales Cloud CRM. And outside of work, I'm a husband, I'm a brother, son, I'm avid sports player, watcher. I love working out. Fitness definitely is in my life. And I just like to get better, self-development and motivation, inspiring others. I would say that kind of wraps myself outside of work, in work, or just trying to get better each and every day. So again, I'm happy to be here around like-minded individuals. And I know your audience is also of that same thinking and trying to get better and trying to put themselves in better positions. And definitely happy for being here today. So thanks again, Solange.
Awesome. I'm happy to have you, of course. And yeah, you talk about did you say 3 years? Would you say 3 years in consulting, right? And one of the questions that always comes up when I talk to people or people listen to my episodes that I have with professionals, they always want to understand how it started for you. Why Salesforce? Why did you make that Salesforce choice? There's a ton of CRMs out there that you could learn. Why Salesforce?
Yeah, so I was working at Salesforce.org in the sales division and just kind of realized I didn't want to continue going down that path. And I just kind of looked around and saw like, what do I know right now that can take me to a different industry or that I can take with me from this experience? And it was the CRM. So having to sell the CRM to customers, and I was working with a nonprofit in higher education in their NGO division. So having that experience, I just decided to just dive fully into Salesforce and start learning. Got on Trailhead, got a couple certifications, got like Ranger and all the super badges, and really dove into the ecosystem and attended some conferences. Like this was during COVID, so I was learning during COVID while we were all locked in. We couldn't go anywhere, couldn't go to any conferences or anything like that. And then as it started to get a little bit better and things started opening up, I went to a couple events. At that time, I had already had a couple certifications. I had the Salesforce Administrator certification as well as the Business Analyst certification. And for me, I'm a people person. I love being around people. So it was, during COVID, you couldn't really be around people. It was hard to build those connections. And like my number one strength is being able to build those connections. So just went to a couple conferences and let people know, what I do and what I've done. I had my resume on me. I wasn't working at the time. And, just really put my best foot forward and met more people and ended up going to the first Dream in Color event down in North Carolina. And while I was there, I met, a ton of individuals and people that kind of took me under their wing. And, you should become an admin or should I become a consultant? And I was trying to decide between the two. And they're like, Mike, you should definitely go the consulting route if you can find a firm that'll take a chance on you. And that's where Agile Cloud and Sharif Shalon, one of my mentors, really stepped in and kind of took me under his wing. And I did a lot during that time. I went to Dreamforce.
Yes.
In San Francisco, which is like the Salesforce Super Bowl. And I got sponsored to go there, and it was like a great experience. And I went from having like no interviews and just putting my resume out to like 20 different companies like wanting to bring me in for interviews. And just from that experience and just from putting myself out there and going to these events, obviously I had the experience as well, but I didn't have the Salesforce experience. So just having those conversations and taking my prior experience in sales and teaching as well, I was able to kind of get into a different space and break into the Salesforce ecosystem.
That's amazing. And the reason I say it's amazing is when people listen to Salesforce stories, again, I've shared my Trailblazer story now and again. When people listen to these stories, they will ask you these questions like, hey, I have people that I mentor, and one of the main questions that comes up is, I've been applying for these jobs. And it's true that COVID locked us in, but you just mentioned something that I did. I wasn't sponsored when I started learning Salesforce between 2018. So what I did was I went to events that I knew nobody at, and that is how I found a mentor. The same way you found Sharif, the person that mentored me all the way till today, bless your heart, Pat McClellan. I met Pat at a Salesforce event. And he took me underneath his wings. He's been with me. And I can remember all the challenging days when I was still struggling to just the regular day-to-day of a job, right? And I'll call him, he'll talk to me and explain certain things to me, just the dynamics, because as someone who I came from academia and someone who had no experience with the American corporate system, it was a bit of a challenge for me because I came from a completely different world. You get it? So I love that you have, and I'm just emphasizing this because this is something I hear a lot when I talk to people, both the people I mentor. And it's just the fact that you started learning, you got your certs, I'm sure you were just as crazy on Trailhead like I was. You were a ranger, got certifications before you even attended a Salesforce event where you could now put yourself out there. And I wanted to talk a little bit on that whole experience, how you got the connection you got with Agile Cloud. I think that when I met you at the Dreaming in Color, that was an interesting, you've mentioned a little bit of it, but I want you to talk more on it, how you encountered Sharif and how you ended up working for Agile Cloud.
Yeah. So again, going to the Dreaming in Color conference, I just attended as many sessions, and anytime there was like any networking going on, whether we were, out on the yard, dancing, talking, I would just make sure I continued to have those conversations and not really leading with, hey, because at the time I'm unemployed. So my number one goal for going to this event is to find a job. So for me, I understand that I can't just, hey, Solange, how are you? Can you get me a job? I have to, have a conversation, get to know people, and like really be genuine about it. So, throughout the different conversations, I looked at some sessions that I wanted to highlight as, ones that I wanted to attend. And Sharif and Agile Flower were doing a session on how to start your own independent consultancy. So at the time, I come from a sales background. Most salespeople are, entrepreneurial spirited. So I know eventually that's something that I would want to go into, and like, I can do this and be an admin for different companies and own my own business as well. And also, my father was a barber and drove for himself. So I come from that entrepreneurial spirit. So seeing that was like eye opening for me. Like, I definitely have to be at that session. So I went to the session, and I'm like in the middle, just had my phone out the whole time, recording everything Sharif said. And I'm just, because I knew I was going to watch this and I was going to study this. Whether I didn't know that I didn't know that I was going to meet Sharif, and then me and Sharif were going to be at school and everything. I just knew I was going to study this because he's from A to Z, how to start your EIN, how to start your where to apply. He's giving you all of the steps. So I just thought that was like, such like so impactful for me and for others that were there as well. So after his session, I just had a brief conversation with him, and then we ended up going to lunch. And I just decided to sit at his table, and I sat at his table, and I met a couple other people that worked with him the night before. We had all went out to to dance and go to the bar and whatnot, and again just more networking. So he remembered me and then introduced me to Sharif. Sharif were having a conversation. So we're just having a normal conversation, and at the end of it, I asked him if he would consider like mentoring me at all, and like, yeah, he was completely open to it. And then from there, I had the connection with Sharif. So moving forward, when I decided I wanted to go to Dreamforce, at the time, like I said before, I wasn't working, so I couldn't afford a ticket to go out there. So I talked to Sharif, and I talked to a few other individuals, and they're like, you should go for it. Like, just put out a tweet or something. And I just like thought that I could maybe somebody in the ecosystem will see how because I described how I got to that point, and basically just asked for some sponsorship. And next thing I know, Sharif responded or retweeted the tweet, said I got 500 on it, and then who's next? And then next thing I know, 5 other people reached out to me and then helped me get to Dreamforce. And when I got there, like I said, it was for me mentally, it was I'm not here to waste time. I'm not here to be caught up in the lights and everything. I'm here to get a job. But again, in getting a job, I know I can't just go to everyone and say, hey, I need a job. Hey, I need a job.
I need a job. Yeah.
You just gotta, be yourself, go out there, have fun. Remember, like it's a learning experience as well. Like the Salesforce put so much money into these Dreamforces.
Oh yeah.
There was a concert where they rented out the whole stadium, the baseball stadium, and it was just like, wow, it's like so crazy.
Man, that thing is a Super Bowl. I love how you call it Salesforce Super Bowl.
Literally, everybody knows everybody is there, and it's so much fun, and you get to meet so many people. And I just like took it experience, like I'm really here, And I would go to every session. I would go to the job sessions that like had other firms that were there, and they're trying to recruit. And I would speak to the recruiters, I would speak to individuals at these companies, and just put my best foot out, put my best foot forward, as well as connect with them on LinkedIn, and then send them a little message once I got the connection. Because you meet someone, you connect with them on LinkedIn, and they don't remember you. Like, they're meeting so many other people. So you just send a small note.
You have to send a message, a small intro. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's what I did. And I would, like I said, I left that. I went there without having anything really like things were up in the air. And I made a Excel spreadsheet. I had all the different companies that I met, positions I applied to, the recruiters, individual from the company's name. And I had all these different interviews lined up, and I was talking to Sharif because at this time I'm looking at Sharif like my mentor, and he's like, you know what, Mike? Why don't you come interview over at Agile? I'm over here helping you, with all these other companies, and I see the talent, and like, I see the drive. Because what I was also doing was on Twitter every day. I would make a goal to do like 10 or 15 different trails and just get badges. And every badge I got, I would post about it and post a little
Yep.
brief. This is what I learned in it. So, and people were liking it. Like I was getting like traction on social media, on LinkedIn and Twitter. So Sharif saw that, and then I went and interviewed with Agile and was able to secure the position, and I've been there ever since, and I've been loving it as well.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And I wanted you to share this because when we hear stories like this, sometimes it feels like it's fiction. It's a real thing. And what worked for you, like I see the energy in you a lot, is that intentionality. You knew what you were looking for. You went there for a reason. You're not just out there hanging out. Even when you knew you would not be able to afford a Dreamforce ticket, you could go that extra mile to say, okay, I want to do this, and you tweet it out there, and people sponsor you. Sherry and the other people, they sponsor you, and you go out there, and you still have that intention. And that is something that I wanted us to emphasize on a little bit. That's why I wanted you to share that story, because sometimes we get carried away with, oh, I need a job. And the only effort we are putting in is those words, I need a job. But we're not putting in any real effort. We are not intentional. So again, that story really, really impressed me. And I was hoping that we're going to share. And so thank you for sharing that. Do you miss sales? I don't know many salespeople who switch to consulting. Isn't there more money in sales than in consulting?
Yeah, there's more money. I would say there's more headaches as well. Don't get me wrong. I loved sales, and I didn't. I guess I never met a salesperson that got into sales, studied sales in college. It's kind of just something that I fell into.
Do you agree that it's a personality thing? I always look at sales seems to be some kind of personality trait. It's not something that you learn in school.
Right.
Do you agree with that, considering that you've been a salesperson?
I definitely agree. I mean, you can excel in sales, being an extrovert, being an introvert. I don't think that's just it's a drive that you have to have consistently, because every month it resets. Like when you're in sales, you could have $100,000 month, and then the next month you put up zero, and it's like nothing happened. It's like it's what have you done for me lately? So it's very lucrative. It's also very stressful as well. So for me, that being the only position that I had, coming out of college, I wanted to try something new, because I know I can always, get back into sales if I needed to. So that's something that's a reason why I wanted to just try consulting, because as a outside salesman, I used to say I was a small business consultant. So I would always talk about how, because it's very similar. Like you're looking to learn about what's going on or what the issue is. Someone's buying something because something that they have is not working for them. So it's how can we position our product to solve your issue, and also provide you good quality service. So it's just similar with consulting and Salesforce Consulting, because it's the same thing. We're positioning the product that they've bought, and now we have to configure it for them in a certain manner that it works for them and their use case. That's why every implementation, every consulting exchange between a firm and a client is unique, because it's not like a one size fits.
Yep, I agree with that. We see different types every day. Every project is different. It's unique. I love that you use that word. Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about what you as a consultant. What excites you the most within the Salesforce consulting space these days? Maybe I put it this way, what's your favorite cloud?
My favorite cloud is sales.
Oh, really? We love all the opportunity scoring stuff, and we do.
I'm from my sales background, so it's like,
oh, that's true. That's true.
Helping out myself 5 years ago. But I also work a lot with NPSP, and then the new nonprofit cloud as well. A lot of the business that we have with Agile, or a lot of the projects that I've worked on have been focused around nonprofits.
Oh, that's amazing. Has NPSP has that improved over time? Do you feel like Salesforce is doing enough release updates on that nonprofit package? Do you feel that way?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Okay.
It's gotten over time, easier to use for the client. And the new NPC, the nonprofit cloud that has come out within the past couple of years, it's kind of still like in the beginning stages. A lot of the nonprofits are still using NPSP, and we've done a few implementations with NPC, and clients seem to like it and seem to excel with it as well.
Oh, sorry. That's great. Again, I learned about that years ago. I've never really worked on it, and I'm always just like we've seen how the other clouds have evolved. Things have changed. I remember my Einstein Tableau now they're calling different things. You know how Salesforce does these changes. So I was just wondering if if that particular the nonprofit cloud has gotten as much as attention like the other clouds, especially marketing. Marketing gets a lot of those updates as well. That's amazing. We do. Yeah. So again, that's interesting what you shared. If we go back and we want to look at some of the innovations that have taken place within Salesforce, just recently we saw the Agentforce event where Mark Benioff talked about Agentforce and all of that, Agentforce 2.0 and stuff. How does that make you feel? What do you feel about what's your feeling when it comes to this new AI introduction into sales? Is that exciting? Is it overwhelming? How do you feel?
It's a little bit of both, a little bit of everything, right? So it's a lot all at one time, but it's so exciting just because of the advantages that you can take from AI and everywhere else that you go to buy a pair of sneakers, you're dealing with a bot and you're talking to AI in some form of fashion. So it's only right that Salesforce, the number one CRM platform, starts to conduct its own product. So it's a lot to learn, just like any other new product release. But eventually we'll get it, and we'll have it implemented for our clients. And like right now, I'm studying for AI associate and also AI specialist and data cloud. So it's a lot of learning at once.
Learning, man.
But that's the game, right? That's the job that we're in the space that we're in. So
Yeah, it is.
when I was in sales, I thought of ABCs, like always be closing. Now in consulting, I'm like ABLs, like always be
learning. Yes. That's a good
There's
one.
always something new to learn.
That way. That's a good one.
The more you learn, the more you realize you don't know.
Yes, and that's again not a problem. That's a challenge for this space. And the reason I asked that question was my update today, and I said, okay, there's nothing I plan to do, so I'm going to spend some time and study for the AI specialist. Again, hopefully I can take it and pass. But I spent a couple of hours going through that thing, creating my first agent and all of that good stuff. It's exciting. So, and the reason it's exciting for someone like me, just like you, I spent a lot of time on Trailhead when I started learning Salesforce. So going on Trailhead and learning is always something that I find very exciting. I love the confetti when I get a new batch. I'm still excited by that new batch confetti till date. I'm almost at 300, how do you call it? 300 badges. No, not up to 300. I'm around 230, right? And I'm still excited at every confetti I get when I get a new batch. So learning, I love Trailhead, and if Trailhead was all we needed to make money out here, I think I'll be a millionaire. I love the experience so much.
That's true.
Do you have a favorite Salesforce tool? Like when it comes to, again, Mike, let me start with myself. I used to be a process builder baby until they snatched it from my hand.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Salesforce?
You gotta learn flows now.
I've gotten better over time, though.
Yeah, I think that's something I definitely want to prioritize in the new year, is just getting better with flows. But I would say Salesforce Inspector. It's a Chrome extension. I don't know if you've used it.
Oh yeah, I use it every day, every minute, every second.
Yep. So Salesforce Inspector Reloaded. I love it. Every time I need to do like a data import or export or look at the field names and API names and whatnot, I can just go click on the tab on the right side of any Salesforce page and just pull it up. So it's it's a lifesaver.
Yes. I love it too. Salesforce Inspector Reloaded. I love it. And the Reloaded made the screen bigger. The regular
Yep,
one was so tiny. The
exactly.
Reloaded. So yes, I love the Salesforce Inspector as well. It's a very good tool for everyday work. I use it. I don't think there is a day I go by without clicking on my
Right.
Salesforce Inspector.
Yep.
So yes, that's a great tool. And about flows, I was just talking to someone today about Salesforce flows. He had not been on the so he used to be an admin, then he got into a leadership role. And I was just talking to him, and he says he was expressing how much flows have changed. And that is
Yes,
true. Flows
yes.
have changed.
They've gotten so
And
much better. So much
yeah,
better.
so much better. Like I find myself loving flows, wanting to build a flow. But 3 years ago, I was like, nope, I don't want to have anything to do with the flow. I want workflow rules and process builder. But today, the flow, it has gotten so much better. You can do so much more with it. And
Right.
I'm just like, yes, this is amazing. So yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good I put a lot of time and energy in Salesforce flows in 2022.
Mhm.
And it just has gotten better. The more you do it, the better you just get great at it, and it just feels like, hey, this one is a breeze. So
Exactly.
yep, it's going to something that is worth spending some time on if you want to. Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
great. I'm just so happy you brought on Salesforce Inspector. I wasn't thinking of that. I think the last
Yeah,
person I talked about this day, if it did not go to that, that's a good one. Thanks for sharing that. Let's do
absolutely.
your rapid fire about Salesforce. Then I have a few questions out of Salesforce
Okay.
for you, right? Your Salesforce tools was supposed to be one of your rapid fire questions, but because I just had to chime in and talk about mine, I'm sorry for the interruption.
You're good.
Okay.
You're
So,
good.
what Salesforce certification would you recommend for a new beginner?
I would definitely recommend admin, Salesforce admin,
Mm,
administrator, just because that's like the foundation of everything, right? Like
mm,
there are so many certifications that you can get now that don't require having the admin, but I feel like when you have that admin, you get the foundational knowledge of just the back end and of setup of Salesforce. So I would definitely recommend studying for the admin. Putting a lot of focus there and like really getting comfortable with like going in the back end of setup and just looking through all of the different pages and looking through the object manager, etc. Knowing where things are is just is it's a great foundational knowledge, just for any position, honestly.
okay. Yep. That's great. And I have a Salesforce myth. Let's hear yours. What's your biggest Salesforce myth?
Biggest Salesforce myth, that you can get a certification and make $100,000 in your first year.
That
The
is
amount
a
of people
good one.
the amount of conversations I would see on social media, like, "Hey, make 100,000 in 6 weeks. This is how you're gonna do it. Get the certification, and everyone's gonna hire you." And then I got my
Yes.
certification, and
Pay
I'm like,
you
"Where's
six
everybody
figures.
at?"
Yes. That is a big Salesforce myth, and I'm happy to have beginners who listen to me so they get to hear this. Thank you for that one. That's an amazing one. And if you were to be a speaker at a Salesforce event, what would be your dream event to speak at?
Um, sorry. I would say I just had my first ever Salesforce talk or
Speaker. Yeah, yeah,
speaking event. Yeah, at the Dreaming in Color. I would say that one because and that was special to me because that was like one of the first Salesforce events that I went to outside of New York World Tour,
yeah.
and just being able to speak to individuals that look like me and that come from the same background, and I just love that event and love attending that event, and yeah, just being able to speak. And like I said, that was like the first Salesforce event that I went to, and I would watch these speakers and I would just say to myself, because I don't know if you could tell, but I love talking, I love meeting people and having discussions with people, so it's only right that I test the waters of being a speaker as well. So
Yep,
while I was just going to these different
yep,
sessions and just learning, I would say to myself, one day I'm going to be up there as well, and I'm going to give back to the next Michael Porcenat coming up, that needs to hear some inspiration or some motivating words, or just be able to see that it's possible. Being in this position, being in this industry, looking like how I look, you can make it as well. Like it's not a one size fits all. It's open to everyone. It's as long as you're willing to put in the work, as long as you're willing to, go the extra mile and learn and continuously be learning. You can make it in this position as well.
Amazing. And if you don't mind, can you give us a synopsis of what your talk at the Dreaming in Color was? Just what was it about?
What's funny is it's exactly what we've been talking about. I believe it was called Dreaming to Consulting. That's what we called it. It was me and my colleague Bam Bamlak Hiley, and we just talked about our experience and our journey of how we went to the first Dreaming in Color event, and how now we're in consulting and working in this day to day, and how we love to just give back and just to have those conversations with individuals that are thinking of going down the same path of being a consultant or being an admin or just getting into the Salesforce ecosystem, and what we learned along the way. And our conversation, the past 30 minutes is really, I would say, sums up what we talked about during that talk. We just talked about how our journey going through it, and just how we want to give back as well. So
Amazing. I love that I made you talk about something that you prepared
yes.
to talk about.
It's very easy. You know as well as I do. It's very easy to talk about yourself.
Yeah,
Ask
yeah,
me to go up here and talk about Agent Force. We're gonna need some time
right.
to get things down.
That's a good one. I love that example. So before we even I want to move away from Salesforce. What would you say are some of the challenges that you have faced within the Salesforce ecosystem as a consultant?
um, I would say just not knowing all of the different products that are available, for our clients, because a lot of times the client has already purchased something and they're coming to us and they want us to implement it, right? And it's like, uh, I don't know anything about this product. I've never heard of it, but now I have to go and learn it, and now I have to become an expert on it, and now I have to teach you how to use it. And sometimes that can be difficult because everything is not as plug and play or as simple as uh, sometimes. And going back into sales, sometimes salesmen or saleswomen make their products seem like it's so easy. You just plug it in and go. And there's a lot of nuances that you have to learn and do a lot of reading, a lot of googling, a lot of help articles and whatnot. So I would say that is a continuing challenge, but it's a challenge that I'm willing to face.
Yeah,
And
and
it,
it's a real
that's
challenge for every consultant. I think that's
exactly
because that's not none of us, we don't know all. There's always going to be the time that they bring something to you and you're like, oh no, this one I have to learn on it. I have to read
right,
more. I'm currently, years ago I did the Tableau CRM. In recent days I have to do CRMA. So I cannot remember what I did 3 years ago.
right,
So I have to go back to the drawing board and learn how to do CRM analytics.
exactly.
So it's a continuous thing that I think every real consultant will face if they're honest, because we all experience these new things that we probably studied a long time ago. We've not used it, then it comes
Right,
back right out to you. You have to always go back because aside from that, Salesforce also updates those things. You might be carrying your own knowledge to go there. Salesforce has changed it.
exactly.
That's good. Thank you so much for sharing this.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about your gym. You say you are a workout freak. What sports do you play?
So I play a lot of basketball.
Oh,
I
nice.
do a lot of like lifting. Um, I try to walk, just trying to continue to remain in shape, to get in better shape. Yeah, I'm always just like, if I'm not working or if I'm not, with my wife or whatever, I'm thinking about, all right, what
Mm,
workout am I going to do this? What am I going to do for tomorrow? Or like, am I going to go to the gym early? Like, I always try to, I do a lot of challenges. And
mhm,
I don't know if you ever heard of this challenge called 75 Hard.
hmm. I'm not a worker. I'm not a gym rat. I'm not a
So
gym
yeah,
rat. You.
so that's like another challenge that I do from time to time. It's like it's very intense, and you have to work out 2 times a day. You have to drink a gallon of water. Um, you have to read a nonfiction book or self help book. What else do you have to do? And basically take a picture of yourself every single day for 75 days. And then you have to eat, you have to select a diet that you want to eat. So if I say I'm going to be, vegan for the 75 days, I can't have any chicken or anything
I'm
like
vegan.
that for
Yeah.
75 days. If I mess up on one day, I could have made it 30 straight days. If I mess up on day 31, you got to start from day one again. So I'll do things like that just to kind of like get my self discipline when I feel like I'm kind of I call it falling off or I'm not where I want to be. I just all right. I need to lock in. Let me do the 75 hard and get back into the.
Well, that's interesting. I can pick and choose what to do there. I can do the picture every day. That that I do.
You talk about 75 soft. You can't do that.
I can take pictures every day for 75 days. That part of the challenge. I can do.
No two workouts. No two workouts for you.
Work out twice a day. Work out once a day, 3 to 5 times a week. Yes, but not twice a day. No.
Oh, and another thing that's really hard about it is one of the workouts has to be outside. So
outdoor workout.
Outside, outdoor workout for 45 minutes each.
Can you walk? Can you just walk?
Yeah.
No, okay. I love to walk, so maybe I can do the walk part.
Exactly. As long as you stay active and you challenge yourself, that's it. I've done it in a slow.
You've done this multiple times. How do you think? Okay, so this is a good segue to talk about how do you think your workout or being active helps you to be a better consultant, like just the way your day at work, because as we always say, the way you feel determines your demeanor at work, considering that we have to face different clients every day. You're talking to people. How do you do you feel that working out constantly helps you, or what impact does it have for you?
I would say I always feel better just in general, not even just at work, whenever I work out and when I like prioritize working out and eating somewhat clean as well. It's the holidays, you got to give yourself a break right now, but definitely I always feel better. I feel like I'm more alert, especially when I work out in the morning. So sometimes I'll wake up and work out at like 5:30 in the morning and just go play basketball or go lift or go swim in the pool or something like that. And when I'm finished with that, I feel like I've accomplished something. Like I could check something off the board for the day, and then at that point, people are just waking up and they're yawning. And we work remotely, so you just go to sleep, wake up, go to work 10 minutes later. Like me, I kind of need to, with working remote, I'm not driving to work anymore, so I kind of feel like being able to work out is like giving me that routine, so that once I wake up, I know I go get my workout in, come home, eat breakfast, I can get to work, and then I feel alert. I'm there. I feel like I'm better for my clients. I feel better throughout the day, and the day kind of flies by as well, because it's not, again, the first thing I'm doing once I'm waking up is wiping the crust on my eyes, brushing my teeth, and going straight to work on my laptop.
No. I don't want to get back there, but I lived that life before until I started going to the gym before work, and it does feel different. So I can definitely testify that it feels a lot different to wake up, go do some workout, then come back and work, because I am a bit of a late worker. I am a bit of a sunset person. So when the sun is up, I'm my least productive. But when the sun starts going down, so I tend to work late, because that is my high performance period of the day. Early in the morning and late in the evening, those are my high performance hours. So the workout has been helping me a lot, but not as much as you do, Michael. Nope. 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 Apart from working out, what other fun stuff do you do?
So I love like watching. Well,
you play games?
I play video games. But again, it all comes back to sports, because I was gonna say I love watching football. I love watching basketball. I love playing football and basketball on the video games. But one thing that has nothing to do with sports that I like recently got into is production, like music production. So I started making beats, like making like different types of genre beats. Nice. So it's cool because as consultants, we're always like building stuff and configuring stuff. So it's cool to just hear a sound and then be able to put things together. And then once you're finished with the product, especially when I play it for other people, they're like, "Wow, like you made this." And I was like, "Yeah." It's like, "Oh, this sounds good."
Somebody to curate for you? Do you have a tester? Does somebody QA your sounds that you put together? Do you have a
Uh,
tester?
no, no, I just do everything. I just taught myself on YouTube. Again, just that's like a theme for me. I just teach myself things like Salesforce.
You go to
But
YouTube University?
YouTube University, yep. YU, I'm a graduate. Well,
Oh
yeah,
my God.
I
This
definitely
is
enjoy.
Yeah, it's amazing. I told you we're gonna have a good chat, and I knew for sure. Just the first when I met you at not at Dreamforce, at Dreaming in Color, and
Mhm.
we had that first chat there. I was like, oh, I want to have a conversation with Michael, and that's that personality that took you from going to events with your resume and creating networks, just meeting people and putting yourself out there. It's the same thing that you and I are able to sit here today and talk. And so I appreciate you so much for making the time, for coming out here and just talking to Solange. Let's just talk anything Salesforce and just have a
Yeah,
conversation and laugh after Christmas as we look forward to the new year.
exactly.
What are you looking forward to the most 2025?
2025, just continuing to grow, continuing to get better, like within my craft and
Yeah,
like with Salesforce and just with my, myself personally. I have a weight goal I want to get to, and I just signed up for a new gym over at Lifetime Fitness, so I've been going to that, and I've been, like I said, just trying to be consistent with it. I definitely want to travel more in this new year, just celebrating, more holidays with my family, with my wife, with my friends. Um, yeah, just continuing to grow, continuing to get better, and just looking
that's
forward to
nice.
new opportunities within the new year as well.
Yeah. That's nice. Who knows? Maybe next year we'll meet somewhere in Africa for one of our Africa Dreaming events
Me
because that is
too.
my new goal. I need to go to one of those Dreaming
West,
events in
West
Africa. I don't
Africa
care where in
dreaming.
Africa, but it has to
Yes.
happen. So,
I
so
saw I saw that event on LinkedIn and I was like, man, I missed out. I didn't know about it until it was happening. And I
yes, I want to
definitely
do
I
one
wanna
of
I,
those.
I wanted to
So,
go to Lagos for a long time. So
yeah, I wish I went to Lagos. And now Cairo is coming up. I might
yes.
pass on Cairo this time, but the next Cairo that is coming up, I'm going to be there. And Lagos, I hope I don't miss those. So hopefully they'll have more of those in different cities or countries
Mhm.
in Africa as well. I just think it's amazing and it should just be such a great opportunity to travel
Yes,
Africa. I love
yes.
travel
I was-
just like you. So
yeah. That was a great opportunity. When I went to Cairo Dream, I went to Cairo Dreaming last year. For
yes,
the
yes, I think we talked about that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
that was
Wow.
that was an amazing experience, and just being able
Yeah.
first time in Africa, first time in Egypt, and yeah, just had a great experience out there.
So thank you again for having a great conversation with me. It's been an amazing session, but there is one thing that I love to do on the show, and I always imagine that I have the power to change the world, right? And so I have that mic, this big microphone that you have there. You can talk to the world, so everybody's listening to you. So if there was something that you had the opportunity to tell the world through this show today, what would it be? Assume that you have that mic in your hand and the whole world is listening to Michael.
All right. I would say number one, always believe in yourself. Um, Anything that you think you can do, you can make happen. And no matter what the circumstances are, no matter how you're feeling, no matter what you're seeing, you can change your reality. Uh, you can always get better. You can always learn. Um, each and every day is an opportunity for you to get better. Is an opportunity for you to change your situation or to continue your situation and grow your situation if you feel like you're at a good place. Getting into the Salesforce ecosystem, I'm not gonna lie, is not an easy task, but nothing worth having is, And as long as you're willing to put the work in, as long as you're willing to continuously study, continuously learn, and just like any other ecosystem, right? But I'm just speaking from a perspective of from Salesforce. There's all these different certifications that you can learn and you can get. Trailhead is free. You can today know nothing about Salesforce. Tomorrow go on Trailhead, learn all these different, things, and even things that don't have to do with Salesforce, right? But it's a free tool that you can use and you can use to grow yourself and grow your practice. And again, just like always believe in yourself and just keep going. Nothing can stop you but yourself. And I'm a firm believer in that. and that any situation that I'm in, I can put myself in a better situation as long as I'm willing to, put the work in, as long as you're willing to, again, it sounds cliche, but it is what it is. Like there's no sugarcoating it. Like you got to do the hard work, and you can put all of your effort, going forward. And if you're going the wrong way, seek out that mentorship, seek out those individuals who you want to be like or who you want to be, better than, and seek out their expertise, and watch videos if that's your thing, read if that's your thing, write if that's your thing, whatever it is, whatever that creative outlet is. Continue to do that for yourself, and know that when things get tough, it's just a moment, right? It's not forever. Like you may have a challenging situation at work, you may have a challenging situation in your life. It's not forever. Like there's nothing permanent about it. You can get out of that situation. It may take some time, it may take some effort. You may take some ramen noodles and not going out and not, traveling and not
We
doing
take
the
some
things that you're accustomed to.
week.
You can do it. That's it. So yeah, just believe in yourself, and you can make anything happen. I truly believe that.
Awesome. That's good. You're just resonating. You're just like reiterating what this show is all about. And I appreciate you so much for having that mindset and for agreeing to put it out here to the people who listen to this podcast. So thank you again for your time, Michael. I'm going to be asking you in a couple of months if you've taken all those certs, because I love to be an accountability partner.
I love it.
So,
I appreciate that.
so yeah, it's been a great show. Is there anything you would have loved to bring up that I didn't ask?
No, I think we had a great conversation, and again, thank you so much for having me and for thinking of me to be on your show. And yeah, till the next time, I guess.
Awesome. Thank you so
Are
much,
you going to Germany Color this year?
Yes, I want to. Definitely. Yep.
All right,
Definitely
so
be there.
I'll see you there.
It's what I love to do, and I will not miss that for anything. So yes. So which means we might not be seeing, if you happen to go to Cairo, I might not be there, but I'll see you in Jermaine Color.
That's it. I'll see you at Germany Color.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Michael. I'll talk to you.
All right, take care. Have a good one.
Bye-bye. Awesome. That was a great conversation I had with Michael Porcenat. Looking forward to more amazing conversations with other colleagues in the ecosystem, and also to all the other people that I talk to on this podcast. It's always a blessing. It's always an honor chatting with people, listening to their perspectives, and sharing my own little experiences within those conversations. Stay tuned, and please continue to follow You Can Be Anything podcast on all their social media platforms, especially on YouTube. Please kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I'm looking to grow that channel a lot. I appreciate your support. Thank you again for being part of my tribe, and I'll see you next time. Stay blessed and bye-bye.